A little.
A little bit. He plays it a little bit.
I played it more on the PS1 era.
That
A
is,
little bit.
I'm not sure if you know, but that's actually the national sport of Mexico.
King of Fighters.
Yep,
That
100%.
that wouldn't shock me.
Well, ever notice how all the Mexican fighters are overpowered?
Yeah. I also played what was it? See if I can find the disc. It was a Japanese fighting game that was in the US, but everything's in Japanese.
I wonder if it
Oh,
was
Christ.
Capcom Fighting Evolution.
And during this time, I'm gonna run back out to Emmett's and get a beer. Another
beer.
one, as DJ Khaled would say, Khaled, DJ
Another one.
Phallus.
DJ
He said-
Phallus.
He said, "Another cum. I smell the cum."
Oh, good lord.
That's true.
Welcome,
Would say that.
welcome everybody to the podcast. This is
Yes.
the second episode of the Late Night Crew. Today we have, as you can see, Dudley, Iron Man, Dank, Final Bar, Shadow, and myself.
Hello.
And today is basically weird experiences in places we've all been to. So, you know, nothing too strange.
Okay. If we're doing weird experiences in places we've been, I would like to go ahead and start us off real quick, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, a few years back, I'm coming back from Mexico with my parents. Specifically, I believe it was just me and my mom. We're driving through the desert. It had to have been about 8 o'clock at night, but it is pitch black. Suddenly, I don't see any clouds and I don't see any stars. But we should be able to see the stars because it is so dark in the middle of the desert. I look up and there's this gigantic black square figure in the sky. It's almost see-through, but you can kind of see that at one point it kind of just blocks out half of a cloud. Something was in the sky. It must have been a ship. It must have been something up there, but it was the underneath of it. You could see through it and see the sky, but you couldn't see the stars. So it was the most wild thing. And the crazy part about that is, in that area of Arizona, we've had high UFO activity.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah.
Doesn't
Yeah,
like
What else are you gonna do in Arizona? Just look at the sky. You'll see something, I'm sure.
Actually, unfortunately, Dudley, you're completely right. just stare at the wall that is the sky, and you'll.
The wall.
The wall is the sky, and we are its children.
the wall's just a side sky.
The wall is the side here into another dimension.
It is.
Everything could be a portal if you're creative.
I think one of the crappiest experiences I've had with traveling was when I was in England and I took holiday in London and I was in Malabin. And that's already a pretty nice area, but I'm a little bit distant from the city. The main parts of it, like Trafalgar Square, whatever. It's all right. I can work with it. So I'm at this hotel. No, not a hotel, a hostel. And the guy pretty much scams me out of my money, or at least tries to, because I tried to get a refund for my room. I wanted a single, and I ordered one online, but the thing was, he didn't list it as specifically male, so it was within a female room, which I was not really wanting, and it turns out I couldn't be accommodated for it, so the guy just said, okay, you can pay a little bit more for, you sleep with these other guys. I said, sure, it's a hostel, whatever. I'm here for weekends, whatever. But I come up to this room, it smells like absolute shit. There are mosquitoes in my bed. So I moved to another bed that has no pillow, so I had to use my suitcase for the pillow. And I said, this is rubbish. I'm not going to sit in here. I'm not going to be in this room. Terrible quality. The guy's ripping ass. There are two guys that just smell like cheese, like fermented cheese. One of them is ripping mad ass. I mean, the loudest farts that I've ever heard out of a human being. It sounds like a hippo just wallowing around in a swamp. And I said, I'm not going to... Hey, what's up?
How do you find yourself in these situations where people are farting around you?
I don't
Why is
know,
it so
because the guy,
strong?
it was 2 o'clock. I was trying to sleep. It was hot out, even though it was October. And this guy's just ripping the loudest ass. Just a giant earth-shattering fart. And I'm thinking, oh my god, I have to get out of here. So 3:30 in the morning, wake up, say, I can't deal with this anymore. So I go and I say, listen, I can't be here anymore. I gotta go somewhere else. I've had a rough time here. He said, okay, that's fine. I'll give you the refund. Now, I paid 80 pounds for this place, and he gives me 15 pounds. I said, what the hell? You're not going to give me 15 pounds. He said, you know what? I'd have to work the rest through my automatic registration system. What bullshit is that? You're not going to give me my money then. So I pretty much had to stay there lest he scams me. Because there is a huge guarantee, pretty much, that he's not even going to give me the rest of the 65. Guaranteed. And the guy was acting dodgy about it too. God almighty. So I had to deal with this mosquito-infested shithole for the, next 3 days of my peregrinations.
Oh my god.
Ugh, rough.
Oh,
And the guy
that
kept.
is-
It was like every night this guy would rip a massive, earth-shattering Ventos eruption from his breeches. Good God! Why am I always caught in these situations where people just rip an ass in their sleep?
Right.
God, that
Like,
sounds. Oh.
That sounds
It was
not
the
ideal.
smell was the worst I've ever smelled. Yeah, like the way that it smelled is how I'd imagine Morgan to smell. Imagine like a Cossack orphanage mixed with cream cheese that has gone stale in the refrigerator, with
Ugh.
cat's piss on newspapers dried up, covering the entire wall. That's how it smelled. It was
Something-
rubbish. It was terrible.
Do you think these people
This
do
is
it on
Malibin.
purpose?
I don't know. It's like this is the third time this has happened to me. Third time.
Like honestly, I think at some point it has to be on purpose because there's no way it's not. They have to see you. They hear your voice. They think it's way too fancy for them, and they just start like doing the most lowbrow thing possible, just belching.
No, because this is in
farting,
London.
and
My
shitting
that
around.
voice is not posh compared to other Londoners. And I'm not in London. I'm not from London. And the people I was with, they're from not even England. They were from Portugal.
Fucking Portuguese. Wait, can we say that on the stream?
You can say it.
I think you can. You just can't get really into depth.
I'm
about it.
Spanish. It's
Portuguese, am
close
I
enough.
right?
These damn Brazilians.
They were from Lisbon, I think. One of them talked to me. I think one of them was from Lisbon.
God damn.
Doesn't Portugal have like all the drugs legalized?
No. What, do they? Portugal's
Oh.
a nice place, I've heard. That's where
I
Bossa
remember this
Nova
one
is from.
conversation when my dad was talking about like how in Portland all the drugs are legalized, and he was like, "Oh yeah, kind of like Portugal."
I don't know. Then again, I haven't been to Portugal. I'd like to go one of these days.
I've been to Portland, Oregon. It wasn't that good, but I got to
I
see
don't wanna
family,
go
so it was
there.
alright.
I've heard Portland, Oregon is really pretentious. I don't
It's
know how that holds up.
Bro,
that being said, we're actually going to Seattle this weekend. It's gonna be fun. I fucking love it. Last time I was there, I went to the art museum. Oh, I fucking love art.
I've never been to places like Seattle or Oregon. And I know that's the entire West Coast, just those 3 states, so I don't know how well they hold up each.
Yeah.
Well, I
The
mean,
Northwest.
California I've been to.
I mean,
I was not impressed.
they have to be good. They have to be good compared to California.
I mean, yeah,
Sounds
of
like
course. That's already a given.
I mean, Portland. When I was in Oregon, it wasn't just in Portland. I mean, I went in like the areas around it, outside of the city, to visit other family members. I remember we were at this one state fair, and I got to ride a camel somehow.
You gotta ride a camel.
Yeah,
What the fuck?
look, I was just as shocked as you were when I found the camel. Like, there's little tiny bits of desert. They're not native to They're not native to Oregon, obviously. I think some.
I was gonna say,
Mhm.
I think the weirdest experience I've ever had is actually when I went to Atlanta with Shadow. And I think he knows this experience because we were at a Taco Mac. We're sitting there just talking
Oh,
about.
you talking about the hooker?
Yeah.
The fucking hooker propositioning you?
So what had happened was
Oh.
we went to. This is when we went to DreamHack last year. We had gone to Taco Mac.
Hello, motherfucker.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the stream. We had gone to DreamHack and basically gone to Taco Mac for like the first night of eating. We had got a table, and this table was for like the 5 of us. So we're talking about gaming, and then we're just accosted by this lady who comes up in this big fucking fur jacket, fur coat, and it's like
Fishnets.
yeah, fishnets, white shirt that basically shows no bra, everything. And she says, I heard y'all talking about games. I have a fun game we could play. And
Oh no.
we all just went fucking quiet.
It
We
was
went-
bad.
That was so... We all went
Did
fucking
you start like
quiet.
rubbing her gooch and shit?
No, she literally just like, she put her hands on the table and is like, she's like shaking her breast out as if she's like trying to say... She's doing
Yeti's pounding a beer trying to ignore her.
I'm just like, okay, prostitute.
Erase the memories.
I remember Time literally was like, he's about to
Time
stand
looked like he was about to bolt to the kitchen and like grab a knife.
up. Yeah, Time was so uncomfortable. We were like, and then I ended up saying no. I don't think we were talking about gaming. I think you heard wrong. And she's like, oh, well, if y'all ever want to have some fun, I said, I think we're good. I think we're.
Then she
Okay.
proceeded to go proposition like 3 other tables.
Yeah, she really did. She really did. That was one of the weirdest things I've ever seen. And that was my first time. That was my first time being in that part of Atlanta.
Dude, I'd been to that Taco Mac before and it didn't have hookers in it the last time
Yeah,
I was there.
like, what is
so-
this? I was like, is this what they
No.
have in Atlanta?
Let me ask this: how old was this?
She looked
40s.
She looked like she was in her mid-40s. She like,
40.
yeah, and the thing is, the funny thing is, she looked like everything on her body was fake and plastic. Also, I'm sorry to hear that, Googly. I hope you feel better.
Good God.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. Yeah, I was like, we were like, what the fuck? I told my dad about that, and my dad laughed the fuck out. And he's
I know
like,
your dad was laughing, and
my
I was
dad
like, "What
was
the fuck is wrong with you?"
laughing. I was like, because I found it funny. I found that funny. I was like, I found it funny just as much, but I was like, I was not prepared for that, like, woman to just walk up and ask, anyone want to play a game?
Morgan V4 here. What's up, faggots?
Okay.
Uh,
Oh, no.
That's
can the bot not be here
Yeah,
during the
that
stream?
bot. So, I'm not going to explain what that is, chat. That's something for the server. That is not something I wanted to join the stream.
Join the server to find out.
I'm joining the server to find out. I always link the
Hey,
server on my
promo
YouTube
time.
channel.
Doo-doo-doo.
Join it. Go follow Team Clutch on YouTube. They make great music. But
too.
yeah, they really do. Oh my god, I am so sorry to hear that, Googly. Damn. That's so sad.
Hold on, that's construction. And a
Yeah,
half.
but Jesus Christ. Then there was that one dude at DreamHack. There was another dude at DreamHack. This dude came in wearing... He was wearing a Let Me Solo Her outfit. But the dude was really obese. And I thought...
I didn't see that.
Yeah, I saw it because I was the one that met him. I went out. I had stepped outside for a second, and he's just out there, fucking flexing. And I'm thinking, what the fuck? Like he's got katanas. You can see his ass crack, and I'm just looking at it like, why? Like I get it. It's to pay tribute to the legend, but Jesus Christ, no one wants to
Who's
see.
the-
So if you've ever played Elden Ring, there's a player called Let Me Solo Her who helps you with one of the most difficult bosses in the game. Well, he's become such an icon. People have made songs about him. There's statues of him. There's T-shirts of him. There's pins.
Freaking From Software made him an actual sword.
Yeah, they made him a sword. Dude's basically a legend. He's got his own stuff. And all he's doing is being nice in the community, saying, "Hey, look, if you need help with it, I'm online at these times. I'll help you get past the boss." But dude, again, it's super nice. Funny enough, I actually got to him. I actually got to the Millennia. I summoned him. It was interesting to watch him just go at it. I did try to beat Millennia on my own, but I had to beat him with her with Let Me Solo Her.
Dude, you never even told me you were playing Elden Ring. I would have joined your ass.
Well, I played it. I recently just got back into it. That's why. Also, I'm scared you would have one-shot me. You would have been such a dick, and I would have had to deal
What,
with
you think I would have invaded and just gone to town?
Yes, I feel like that. I don't play Souls games, and that's the problem about Souls games. I don't like. I don't play them.
I only do that to people in Bloodborne. I only play the Toxic Invader in Bloodborne.
What is Bloodborne? I've heard this title for the past, I think, 5 years at this point. I just never bothered to look it up. I just don't know why. I keep hearing the name. It sounds cool. What is it? Is it
It's a Souls.
fantasy?
It's a Souls game in like medieval London.
Basically.
Oh, that sounds cool.
Yeah.
I
See,
play it.
I really want to get one day Dudley to just I want to put him in front of a Souls game and
No.
just watch him go.
He's gonna get pissed.
No, but that's the
People-
point of a Souls game. You get pissed. It's basically you're gonna die, but you're gonna keep trying because it's the satisfaction of that final kill. It's the satisfaction
Yeah,
of that
but-
kill.
Here's where I always draw a line with video games. If you're playing a game that frustrates you and you know it frustrates you beforehand, even if there is a rush of dopamine at the end, why would you take that risk and waste a lot of time? You could easily get the same rush of
My original
dopamine by
playthrough
just
had
jacking
400
off.
deaths.
But you can wank off and get the same release of satisfaction, ecstasy. You can read a book with the same ecstasy. You can climb a
I'm
mountain
illiterate.
with a mountain with the same rush of excitement.
But you
I
can
don't get
easily
what makes it different.
though it's not hard. You have to go through training. You can train to climb a mountain. You can train to do this. As even veterans of like these kind of games, they love the thrill of I'm going to die.
Niggers, 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 niggers,
I'll-
niggers, niggers, niggers.
Whoa!
Okay.
Whoa!
Okay, who keeps on putting this bot
Who
in
puts the
here?
bot in here? Oh my god!
It's cool. It's cool.
Well,
it's cool.
I have to put my
Oh
my
my
headphones in now as I'm in public and I'm calling in a predominantly black area.
Oh
At the
my
moment.
god! Who did
Thankfully, I'm just
that?
chilling out in my
Who
room.
did that? I'm
Super
looking
awesome.
right now who's doing this.
I'm looking around right now to see if there's anyone in the area who heard that. Oh my god! Because
It's
I'm
cool.
calling on my mobile.
I server muted it.
Yeah, please. I timed it out. Oh my god. What the fuck? Whoever's
I think
doing
it's
this-
I'm
Aaron.
feeling
I
good.
feel like it is Aaron. I'm gonna tell him what he was doing. He's like, "Oh my
Aaron's
god,
so
you were
funny.
live?" He's like, "You were live?" I'm like, "Yeah, live." And somebody just comes in.
Shadow, I posted my name in general for Street Fighter V, and I'm downloading Mortal Kombat now.
Okay, cool.
Which Mortal Kombat? Because I have
11.
11. All right, I was gonna say I had 10 and 11, so
Yes, the two best
so-
ones. I say, yeah, but Dudley, I would love to see you play a Souls game, and I swear, like, I would love to see you just do it one day. Like, play Bloodborne or Dark Souls or hell, even Elden Ring. I would love to see you do that.
But-
Just like you could get content out of Dudley doing that.
That's true, but I don't have the gaming apparatus, and I don't have the console and everything else that is needed as a supplementary for
I could
this
give you my PS4.
endeavor. No.
He'll give you his PS4. He's like, I will give you my PS4, Dudley, if you do this.
Personally, if I am to play a video game, I usually prefer something that's fun, and creative. That's why, as a kid, I liked playing Scribblenauts. I liked playing, the sorts of games where you could input something and it would quite literally on the screen come to life and manifest.
Dudley's
Scribblenauts being the prime example.
Dudley's like my classmate who only played The Blob and never
Yeah,
shut up
those
about it.
types of games.
Oh, Jesus. But still, it'll be interesting.
I mean, greatest game of all time, I think. Methinks, actually. Methinks.
what is it?
I mean, it's a
Why?
pretty It's a standing ovation if I say methinks.
So what is it?
Scribblenauts is. It's obviously the greatest game of all time. Greatest of civilization.
I won't doubt that. I won't doubt that. I was gonna say, Dudley, have you ever heard of the Persona series?
I have heard of it actually.
Would you ever play like an RPG type game?
I've heard negative things about it in the terms of stereotypes. So nothing flattering. I don't know what it's about though, so I can't really comment beyond that. The common stereotype threaded together is that if you play it, you're pretty much a loser. It's meant for incels,
Yes.
sadists.
How?
Yeah,
I've played
Dudley.
Persona 3. I like Persona 3.
Pedos.
Like, because Xbox One and PS4 just literally released Persona 3 and 4. I like Persona 3. It was good.
I've heard really negative things about it in the stereotype
It had a
fashion.
really weird style to it.
It had like it had a weird, unique
Yeah.
style to it that today still feels present.
I don't know. I'd
any
rather
of y'all
just
have
play
a
it for
Wii
mindless
U?
fun. I didn't have a Wii U. I had a Wii.
Make sure you turn that thing on every couple weeks because otherwise it's gonna kill it and break it.
I had a Wii U when I was like a really, really little kid back when I was living in Italy and stuff. But
You didn't
when
live
we
in
got to
Italy.
Rhode Island, what?
You didn't live in Italy.
Yes, I did.
When? You never told me.
From 2014 to 2017.
Why were you living in Italy? Which part?
Naples, Italy. It was part of my mom's military tour.
Oh, continue.
Same reason why I'm in
I didn't
Hawaii
know
right
that.
now.
Continue. I'm shocked.
And oh yeah, the Wii U. I used to play like a couple games with my sister on it, like like Mario Kart 8, Nintendo Land, that kind of stuff.
Right.
And I kind of miss it a tiny bit, a tiny bit. But now it's gone because we sold it to some Italian barber that my dad was friends with back in Rhode Island.
Brandon, the barber. I surmise.
Did you
The gay barber.
Let's see.
No.
No, did you send it to me?
I did.
Brandon Curlington, I believe. The gay barber.
When I'm old, when I want to grow up, I want to be like Brandon.
I think you sent me a friend's request first, right?
I don't think anyone can really replace
I
the
did.
je ne sais quoi glory of Dreamy Butler. I really
Nah,
don't
bro,
think
Dreamy-
anyone
I
can.
think I'm invisible right now. Give me a sec. My Steam's invisible.
Dreamy Bull is a filthy hetero. We don't.
You know,
Oh,
I
he's a hetero.
and the thing is, I saw I saw a
Dreamy Bull
video
has a
where
wife.
he does. The thing is, it's weird because I saw a video today, the dreaded corn video. I don't think I need to explain this for audience, but you know,
Ew,
I
spicy.
see you're online.
I've
if
seen that
it
before.
was-
It's kind of funny.
it's not funny. I was disgusted when I saw that.
I
You can
laughed.
look it up if you want. At the end, something very disastrous happens.
It's so fucking
Look it up at
difficult
your
to add you
discretion.
to my friends list.
All I can say is he puts an extra O in the word popcorn.
Which
Wink,
doesn't
wink.
mean- okay.
Popcorno?
Okay.
No, he poop corn. He shits on the corn.
Oh my
He has
God.
a corn on
yeah,
a
they-
cock.
Let me
and he-
let me create one.
It's a viscous glob of shit that emerges. You can piece
Bro.
together what happens after. I'm sure.
At least
I don't get it.
like things may be going bad at sometimes, but whenever you all are down in the dumps, just remember, at least you're not Dreamy Bull's kid,
Right.
because that kid is
Wait,
gonna
he has a
get
kid?
bullied.
He has a kid?
He has two
Yeah.
I
kids.
sent
Oh
you
my
an invite.
God, that sounds like who's that? Okay, hold up. Who's that porn star that's actually gonna have a baby and people were
Lana
making fun of
Rhoades.
it? Yeah, Lana Rhodes. When
Lana.
I heard that, I said, you know what? People were talking about how they feel bad. I'm like, there's plenty of porn stars with kids. I'm guessing they were making fun of her because it's kind
Yeah,
of
I
like,
was gonna say there's plenty of them that have kids.
yeah, there was one that actually had the kid participate in the porn.
Oh yeah,
my
yeah,
God.
the video, yeah.
I found that out. I was like, what the fuck? That's weird. Why would you have your
But-
son participate in the porn?
Yeah,
But
he,
Coke.
No, I
Well,
didn't
it's
watch it.
even
No, like I didn't watch it. I looked that up. I'm like, when I found that out, I looked that up. I'm like, how many porn stars have kids? I looked it up, and the most disturbing part of that is like one of them literally had their son participate in the thing. I'm like, who does that? Who puts their
I feel
kid
like
in that
Strange.
situation?
It's gotta be even worse for Dreamy Bowl's kids, because I mean, I don't think Lana Rhodes did any like scat play, hopefully, or
Oh
whatever.
my god!
He didn't do anything that weird. It's just
They're just gonna look at his dad, and they're gonna be like, they're all gonna be scared. They're gonna run for the hills as soon as his dad tries to shake one of their hands or whatever. That's very understandable.
Listen, it does bring up a very interesting question of where and how this is going to
Oh.
affect a lot of the children as they become adults. So it is a little bit interesting to see how porn stars interact beyond just the screen. Because you have to remember, these are people who, after they have these diabolical acts performed on them, they probably get in their car, they get in their Nissans and whatever, they go back to the house, they're on the porches, and, they're in the conservatory, reading the newspaper, they get calls, they're like, oh, hey, Sarah, let's go over to Emmett's for brunch. Oh,
Bro, my
really? Let's
cousin's
go
name-
to
I have a
it's just
cousin
like they
named
live
Sarah.
normal lives. They live the most normal lives probably, but at the job, it's just the most abnormal stuff. It's crazy. It's crazy. How they do it,
I'll
I have
be
no
honest.
idea.
Yeah, people they'll be like, oh yeah, I do porn. That's no big deal. It's all this, it's all that.
Yeah,
And it's like, what
it's
the fuck?
mental.
Like what? Whoa, wait a minute. You
I mean,
said-
I-
so you
I
said-
commend you for it, but I commend you for it, but living a normal life is a bit strange because it's crazy to imagine that the person in front of my screen is the same person who drives next to me in traffic, the person at the cafe in queue. You get the idea.
Yeah, it's like
Carry
Yeah.
a briefcase.
it's like okay, it's exactly like how when I met Jay-Z, people started fucking freaking the fuck out like, oh, it's Jay-Z. I'm like, what's up? How you doing? And people are like, wow, you must not like him. I'm like, no, I love Jay-Z music. I just don't treat him like a fucking idol. 'Cause
Right.
he's-
His music's not that good.
Well, I like some of his old stuff. His old stuff is good.
Eh,
His old stuff good. But
I
people-
have mixed feelings about him. I think he's.
yeah, but
Never
people
mind.
like
That's for
people
another
will treat
conversation.
people will treat him. People will treat celebrities like gods, but when they see them, it's like, ah, ah. I was like, dude, they're just a normal person who got an acting
Right.
job. That's all they are.
Right. They're just like you and I, except they were.
Except they make more
held
money than us and they
into-
get more women.
Yeah, they were held into the mainstream media, and they have a lot more coverage, and they made a celebrity mold out of themselves. But at the end of the day, it's night. But also at the end of the day, they're pretty much just like us. Many of them abuse their powers, which kind of loses and blurs and obfuscates that, but
Yeah,
it depends on who it is, really.
it really kind of does. It's like
Yeah.
it's like when people. I don't get why people like kiss ass to them. I don't get it. I guess it's something that people do. But that's
Right.
not my part.
I never really worshipped any celebrities, because some people say, who's your favorite celebrity crush? Who's your favorite actor, actress? I don't
I've
really
never
have
had
them.
a
I don't really
celebrity
care for
crush.
them. I never really cared for them. No, I really haven't.
Emma Stone's pretty dope.
Who?
Emma Stone.
Which, that's
The-
familiar. Which films, I'm trying to...
Jersey
She's
Girl.
from, Harry... She's from the Harry
Emma
Potter series,
Watson.
right?
That's Emma,
Emma
Watson.
Watson.
hmm
Who's Emma Stone?
Emma Stone's from Zombieland.
Can't remember.
She was the older sister in Zombieland.
I think I have seen that movie, I just can't remember. Is that with the carnival?
Yeah,
that one.
the last scene of the carnival.
Yeah, that one. Okay, I
Zombieland is
faintly
such
remember.
a good fucking
I've-
movie.
It's alright. I kind of remember it. Woody Harrelson's in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, best
That's
part.
the one thing I remember. He's a good actor. I do like him.
Oh god.
He's a good actor. I don't watch films as often as I should. I don't know, I just don't enjoy them as often anymore.
I was gonna say the one movie I've watched the most of is probably The Avengers, and the reason why is weird. It's because
The
it's like
2012 one, yeah.
yeah, the first Avengers movie where they're fighting Tom Hiddleston. Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah, Loki.
I know I'm a straight man. I say this with all confidence, but Tom Hiddleston is a sexy Loki. I will say that to the end of days. He is a
He is.
good
He's
looking
not bad.
Loki. He's a good looking man. He is, and there's nothing wrong with saying that. And he plays Loki really well. For fuck's sake, I didn't even expect it. Like, I know it's weird.
I know.
Yeah, it's weird. And I was like, what the fuck?
Well, in general, I would say he's a good actor.
Yeah, he's
But-
a very good actor.
I just don't know how to feel about films at this point because I took back in last semester. Last term, I took a class on film theory. And the rules for what makes a good film and what doesn't are so blurred. It's almost as if, yes, it's objective, but at the same time, you have to agree with certain things. Otherwise, you look like a doofus when reported. I have no. Who am I to judge? But who am I to judge on whether an actor is good or not? Because my teacher absolutely loathes Paul Dano, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
He said that he wanted to strangle him, essentially. He's like, oh, his acting in There Will Be Blood is the worst I've ever seen. I'm gonna kill him on his doorstep. And to me, when I watch it, all I can think of is this guy has like a baby face, but that's it. I don't really consider him a bad actor. So I don't know what makes or breaks a good actor. I don't know. Now when I watch a film, I overthink everything. It just makes it so unenjoyable. It just gives me a headache.
Hey, y'all want to know two really good movies? The Raid. Have y'all watched the two Raid movies? It's like
I
a
haven't.
duology of Indonesian fighting movies. Bro, those are probably the two best action movies I've ever seen. If y'all
I think
like,
after that, I think after that course though, I haven't watched a movie since then. So I haven't watched the film since December, and I think I'm going to keep that way for many years, to be honest.
well, Dudley, there's not much to overthink here. It's just Indonesian people fighting. Well, in the first one,
I
there's like
know.
a single white dude, but still.
I know, but when you're in a film class like that for a university, the questions always are, how does this frame relate to, XYZ? It's always something like, how does this frame relate to Bertrand Russell's theory on blah, blah, blah?
I think you're
How does
thinking
this
of
frame
Roy
relate
Weiss.
Or-
to postmodernism of Karl Marx's theories? It's always
Mark,
something like that.
What a nerd. But Dudley, here's the funny part. It's an action movie, so who gives a fuck about philosophy stuff?
Yeah, but
There-
even with action movies, they were like, well, how does this contribute to the Western ideal of masculinity in the 21st
It
century?
doesn't. It's just Indonesian people beating the shit out of
Yeah,
each
but
other.
they
It's
always
wonderful.
that's the idea of it. They always go over and push the envelope with what can and can't be evaluated by Fractal. So everything
have
has to
fun,
be
bro.
under scrutiny, even if it's just dumb fun. It's like, how does this dumb fun contribute to the postmodernization of Western society?
We got
There's this
I hate thinking about
Dude,
everything
speaking
like
of
that.
Speaking of dumb fun, I just want to say this one movie, okay? By the way, hi Nutter. So y'all know Nicolas Cage, yeah?
Mhm.
So in 2020, yeah, when Nicolas Cage was just doing a bunch of movies to pay off his mom's debt because some medical stuff I forgot about, Nicolas Cage was just in a lot of just trash, god awful movies, and one of them is Jujitsu. Yeah, it's on Netflix. Y'all can watch it, and I've watched it 14 times, and like, it's a bad movie. Why just have so much? It's just so goofy to watch.
What? Which one?
Jujitsu. It's on Netflix.
I know what you're talking about. There's actually a movie he did where I don't know if y'all know this movie. It came out, but no one really knows of it. It's called Mom and Dad. It's starring Nicolas Cage.
It's the one where it's like him. Doing the slap thing.
Yeah, that slap. That fucking. that fucking slap. I want to make that. Like it's like it became the Rick and Morty meme. Speaking of Rick and Morty, did you hear Justin Roiland was proven innocent?
I saw
Well,
that.
not innocent.
Well,
but,
he
like,
was proven. Basically, the evidence was falsified. Basically.
A lot of charges.
yeah, he ain't guilty.
Yeah,
He ain't guilty,
of
which is
what
good
he
enough,
did.
I guess.
And
He's neither
he-
guilty nor innocent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but he's lawyering. I cannot say this term, but he's lawyering up. I have to say it slow. He's
Lawyering up.
Yeah, I see, because I always say this lawyering up. Oh, now I say it right. God damn it.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
Nah, I'm
yeah.
joking.
Yeah, I owe you for that one. But yeah, he's going to lawyer against. He's going to sue Adult Swim and the creator and the other creator, Rick and Morty, basically for.
They kicked him out, yeah.
Yeah, they kicked him out. They basically kicked
They
him out.
did.
They really did, because the case was so severe. And I was like, Jesus Christ, Justin. I'm like, I like his show. I like Rick and Morty because it's like, it's wacky, but it's the good kind of wacky.
Rick and Morty fell off.
And it fell off.
I never watched it. I remember when it premiered back when I was a wee lad in middle school, and I just never got into it. I watched the pilot back around. It was like before November. No, it was November. It was before Thanksgiving. I remember I sat and I watched in front of the TV the pilot, and I just didn't think very much of it. And I chewed around for a few more episodes, and I just wasn't very fond of it. I don't know. I don't know. It never really got to me. But he's going under the guise of cancel culture. I do think that a lot of people were wrong to instantly assume that he was in the wrong. However, at the same time, I wouldn't say it's cancel culture because there were so little details given it. I think the details were actually provided through a few journalists, independent journalists, who dug up the case rather than anything official. So already the details are very blurred. So for, any sort of instant blaming to be put on both sides or any side really, just strange because I still have no idea what the hell the case was about. What even happened in 2020, what happened with the text, what happened with XYZ.
Yeah, it's exactly
Strange.
It's exactly what happened to another YouTuber. Now this YouTuber is actually very innocent, but he was framed for something he never did. And this is how down bad society is, because they jumped him. And I don't mean like, oh hey, you're a bad person, I'm gonna cancel you. They were sending death threats, they were calling him a horrible person. I think his name is hold on, I have to look it up. Cause I just remembered it. But
Isn't it like Bachelorverse or something like that?
no, not Bastardverse. Not Bastardverse. It is.
Bro, Jared?
No, I'm looking.
No,
I'm
that's the
looking it
Subway
up.
guy. Damn,
Subway
Jerry.
guy.
Yeah, it just happened.
Hmm.
And the dude had to basically. He's a YouTuber who is a commentator YouTuber. Kuwait.
Oh,
Yeah, that guy.
White.
Yeah, Kuwait. He got sent death threats. He basically took off his, because he always wears a mask and a green hoodie. He basically had a face reveal, go into his insecurities, provide evidence, and when the evidence was provided, some of the stuff was like, wait a minute, this doesn't make sense, but people automatically assumed Kuwait was a bad person. A lot of his friends left him, and they still haven't apologized. That's the fucked up thing. I'm thinking, that's sad, that once you say something, if anyone says anything like, oh yeah, Dudley abused me, or goddamn,
Motherfucking,
who left?
Nutter.
Oh, he was here.
I told him that we were streaming right now. Or
Oh, okay.
you were, not me.
No, that's fine. But yeah, yeah, like anyone can say anything, because what they were saying was some scummy shit about this dude. They were saying, yeah, they were basically saying he was an EDP in the making, or if you remember, Onision.
Onision?
Yeah, Onision. They were basically saying he was Onision. If anyone in the
Christ.
chat, yeah, if you remember that name, yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I vaguely remember it.
Yeah, that dude was pretty much a scumbag.
He is a scumbag. I don't. Whatever happened to him?
I think he just fell off and decided to do anything.
I think he's in the Shadow Realm now.
Jesus Christ. But yeah, no, that pisses me off because it's like people nowadays will be like, yep, he did it. Yep, nope, doesn't matter. He's like, oh, yep.
Did you want to switch to Tekken?
It's like,
Yeah, we can switch Tekken, or we can go
it's
Mortal
like,
Kombat.
Not-
Or whatever.
I think it's still downloading.
Let me know.
I think. I,
go ahead.
I think the way that a lot of it works now, it's not as easy as people like Morgan would simply condense it into the travesty of, oh, one person indigitates towards someone and says, oh, you're sacrilegious, blasphemous, profanation, you sick, vile creature, you shall be cast into the shadow realm, you shan't be hired again. And everyone else does the same thing. I don't think that's the case. I think it's more that people misreport and they instantly judge. And then people who lack the information because of the limited sources and resources to even gain it, mull over that conversation and information, they pick up on that judgment and they say, yeah, well, this guy said it, so maybe that's true. Maybe that's a pretty good suggestion. It's really just
I
a lack of
remember.
information, people reacting too hastily towards it.
I remember watching a couple of Key White's videos. They were kind of funny.
Yeah,
It was about,
Kawhi's a good YouTuber.
you know, that Boyfriends webtoon, that and like the Zootopia abortion webcomic.
I remember that. I remember. I have seen that video.
Oh my
Those two were
What a-
goofy.
What's a concept? What's a concept, Mark? What's a concept, Mark?
I remember downloading Webtoon and
What's a story?
scrolling through all of Boyfriends, like every single issue that was out at the time, and I didn't laugh once, and I did to impress this guy I liked. I kind of regret it.
Yeah.
I'm creating the lobby now.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say, yeah, that's like, it sucks though. It sucks though when people do that to you. It's like the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard case. Remember, Johnny lost everything, and he was the victim of abuse because the media decided to say, well, if we don't take Amber Heard's side, we're bad people. It's like, if I'm going to go there, I am going to go there. Fuck it. I don't know if y'all know about the recent shooting in Nashville at the school.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
girl-
with like the
the
trans
girl-
shooter.
Yeah, the trans shooter. What made me think? What made me look into this? And I know people who are gay are gonna say, "Well, he's homophobic." I'm not. I am so not homophobic.
Nah,
I
bro,
have a
you
lot-
ain't.
Not really. But I looked into it. A lot of the shooters identified as like non-binary, trans, cisgender, all that stuff. They
Cisgender. I'm cisgender.
no.
You're
Hold on.
cisgender.
Hold on, I can pull up the picture. Actually, I have the picture because it made me just think, and I was like, "Huh, that is interesting." Yeah, it says non-binary, trans. The Colorado Springs shooter identified as non-binary. The Denver shooter identified as trans. The Aberdeen shooter identified as trans, and the Nashville shooter identified as trans. And I was like,
Wasn't there like some big thing about? Oh, sorry.
"No, go ahead, go
There
ahead."
it is.
Wasn't there like some big thing about how people initially thought that what was it, Uvalde, how that's pronounced, the Uvalde shooter was trans? But it was just
No.
some random other dude.
But it wasn't. I think.
No.
I think in terms of a
Wait.
lot of
Hey, why'd you kick me?
Because we're live.
I ain't gonna do it.
Okay.
I suppose it's more of a thing with mental illness, which is not inherently to say that all people who are trans or are non-binary, because I know tons of transsexual and transgender and non-binary and so forth people who don't have a mental illness in that form. They don't exhibit any sort of violent tendencies who are against that specific. And they, too, would agree that a lot of it is just a denial of personality, individuality, and identity. And places like those where they don't really have any support or coverage for it, it's more so that they don't know the right path to go on. So they feel so lost in regret with themselves that they often resort to these like violent tendencies.
Yeah,
Like
I
look at
actually
Nashville.
understand that.
I heard a report too that they didn't have any services for that one Nashville shooter. So he or she or whatever the fuck went absolutely mental throughout the years, which it is kind of sad to see like mental health services not available in these typical areas. You know, it's like rural, deep south country.
Well, Nashville isn't that rural. It's a big city. I mean,
That's a big
Where's
city.
Nashville?
My sister's.
Isn't that in Tennessee? Kentucky.
yeah, Nashville, Tennessee.
What are we talking about?
Tennessee or is it in Kentucky?
No, it's in Tennessee.
It is?
Give me a sec. My
Yeah,
I don't know.
Nashville's in
It's in
Tennessee.
out.
Hold on 1 second. Yeah, Iron Man. His controller's down. If you look at the screen. Yeah.
Trying to get it to reconnect.
Good guy. He was just attacking him. He's like, his blocking is impressive.
Well, it will auto block if my controller doesn't work.
But yeah, I was like, I looked at that, and then
I
there
might
was,
have to relaunch Tekken. Give me a sec.
there was a news line that caught my eye about it. They said transgender shoots up school for no reason. That caught my line. I'm like, there's got to be a reason. No one shoots up.
There
a
has
school.
to be a reason.
No one shoots up a school for no fucking reason. We're not in that part of society where we say, fuck it, I'm gonna go kill these kids because it's fun.
Right.
No, we're not in that part. Yes, dude.
I'm bored.
Yeah, that's basically, yeah, we don't do that.
Right.
Yeah.
That's from my opinion. I talked to other people about it, and that's pretty much the main consensus. It's just a lack of a lot of mental health services throughout many years, and just sort of that denial of personality. At that point, you feel like you're pretty much stuck or ensnared in your own personality, and when you hate that identity or just want to change it, you feel like you can't really express yourself. So you have a lot more rage and vitriol. Look at Morgan. Look how hateful he is. He hates being black, and he takes it out on us. It's sad. Yeah, exactly. It's sad.
There's a reason
It was
we
a
always.
Shakespearean tragedy.
It's sad, but it's also like really funny.
Yeah.
But it's really sad.
He copes by blasting his ass.
Yeah,
He
that's boring,
huffs
though.
copium and calls himself bi. Like he
Yeah.
ever is gonna get pussy.
Yeah, it's a weird thing, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I own a gun. My family owns a gun. I am not against guns for protection, but
All right, I got it working again.
yeah.
Cool.
But I was gonna say because I don't know if y'all remember the Texas shooter who was a kid who was disgruntled and angry.
Wait, what the fuck?
I don't know if y'all remember that kid. Yeah, well, he shot up those. Notice, I remember how he had got the firearm. He had got the firearm basically by just walking in and buying it. And I thought, wait a minute. I forgot how old this kid is. Let me look that up. But I thought, how did this kid easily get a gun so fast?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because let me look it up. I'm looking it up right now.
I mean, it is a little bit crazy to see how
Are you recreating
places-
the room or? 'cause
Yeah,
I-
yeah. 1 second.
Yeah.
other places
ahead
like
and refresh.
Australia and France.
Shit.
Well, maybe not France. I don't care about
Okay, now
French
refresh.
people.
Gross.
And,
But
yeah,
Netherlands, they all have like similar. Canada even really small gun homicides by year. How do they do it, but we can't?
yeah, I don't
Is it just
get
because the U.S. is so big?
No, and you want to know something? So, it says an 18-year-old gunman. An 18-year-old gunman. And I'm thinking, what's crazy is, you can legally get a firearm at that age in some states, and that's the craziest thing. What 18-year-old needs a gun?
Apes.
Yeah, that's why I was like, what the fuck? Because when I heard that, I
There
was
it
like,
is.
there's no way an 18-year-old needs a gun.
What was that?
Why would you even sell it to him?
Yeah.
It made no damn sense to me, and I was so pissed at that whole thing. I was pissed at how the police handled the situation. I was pissed at how long it took them to enter the building. It was a shit show of a case.
Wait, wasn't that Club Q shooting?
What?
Was it that like that gay club shooting?
No, it was the shooting
And-
where the kid had walked into the school with a gun and shot up the school, and the police took forever to enter the building.
Uvalde.
Uvalde.
Yeah, that shooting.
Oh.
I like how Morgan instinctively defended the police on it before he actually looked at what happens.
Yeah,
It's,
because
actually,
yeah, I'm thinking like what? He said, yeah, the police had to prep Morgan. They were kids. This wasn't no high school. This was a elementary school. I don't give a shit what the police were doing. You could have charged in there and at least cornered the fucker. But even after they got ready, they still took their time, and potentially more kids could have died. That's what's so scary about this entire scene. More kids could have died from that entire thing than they're letting on.
Didn't they rescue their own kids first?
No, they tried. Yeah. I think that was what was released.
I don't remember that, but I can. Yeah, maybe. I remember I was upset with that coverage of it. I remember I saw a piece on the recent shooting. I was so saddened by it that I couldn't. Someone posted a video of some girl, a child. It was like a meme, but she was just crying because the guy in the video insulted her, called her a bitch, and she was on the floor crying. I just don't want to see that. I don't like the idea. I don't like I don't like the picture of children crying. You know, little 8-year-olds, 10-year-olds, or 5-year-olds crying.
But there's actually a tribute to the time of everything. It says at 11:06 to 11:20, he sent a message to an online friend in Germany about being annoyed with his grandmother, and he was about to go do something to her right now. At 11:21, I just shot my grandma in the head. I'm gonna go shoot up an elementary school right now. Hold up. Yeah,
I thought I could get the
he
counter.
enters the school. And he entered the school at 11:33, and they're saying the police entered at 11:35 a.m. Well, I'm thinking that's not what happened. It took them a minute. There's no way he entered the school at 11:33, and the cops were there at 11:35 because it took them a long time.
Yeah, but they might have been on the scene there, but they just didn't enter the building.
No. It says this. At 11:32 a.m., gunman fires multiple shots outside the school. 11:32 a.m., school goes into lockdown.
Nice.
11:33, shooter enters school. 11:35, Uvalde police enters the school. That doesn't make sense because from what I saw, it took them a minute. They were arresting parents who were prepared to go get their fucking children. I'm thinking, just like, what the fuck? It took them so long to get in there.
What source are you reading about?
It's called the Texas Tribune.
That was a good one.
Yep.
I remember it quite differently.
Yeah. Well, how do you remember it?
I remember the way that you do. I remember that they waited for a very long time.
Yeah, that's why I was like,
before they actually broke in and busted in.
Yeah, and I'm thinking like 11:35. Wait a minute, that's not what happened because they were busy arresting fucking parents trying to go get their goddamn
I think it took them an hour, a little bit less than an hour, to burst in.
Yeah.
That's what I remember.
That's what I remember too. And I was like, what the fuck? That's not. I'm thinking. Okay, so I'm thinking. I don't know about what Dank said about them getting their children. I'm looking into that right now from ABC News. Let me go to actual source.
Right. And looking up the more recent reports would also help, because that's when the police statements are always vague in terms of journalism and reporting, because they're always directed from a place of uncertainty, in confirmation, because they can't really press charges and say, well, this is for certain what happened, because everything has to be processed through court to dictate that. So it's always uncertain.
Yeah, so it said the law enforcement response in Nashville stood in stark contrast with the events that unfolded last year at Robb Elementary School, where officers waited 77 minutes before confronting and killing a shooter.
That's it.
And I thought to myself, why did you wait that long? And I bet people were starting the speculation of, well, they're getting their children first, and I think they started that speculation. I don't believe officers would go into school without get their children. If they actually did that, that's a new low even for them.
Nice.
That's a whole.
Oh, I
fuck.
missed the swing.
Right.
Because it's
I
like
missed on the swing.
that opens up the possibility of stuff of it being crazy to me.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. It's just, that stuff really disheartens me, and it just discourages me from, really even reading the news for a day.
Yeah. Because I like how.
I never want to imagine that. It breaks my heart, to be honest. I hate that.
Yeah, it's sad. It's really sad.
No child should ever have to go through any abuse of that kind, even if they do survive. They have to live with that for the rest of their lives, and then damn well, proleptically in the next 80 years, they're going to be at some event telling people the story of how they survived, what happened, why you shouldn't do this, and America isn't going to listen. America, or whomever they report to, a lot of people might not listen.
Because I'm gonna be honest with you, before the podcast, I literally didn't even remember the school, and I'm not being like a dick or anything. I'm just being honest. It's like I remembered the shooting. I didn't remember the school. I didn't remember the name of the kids. I didn't even remember how old the fucking gunman was.
Honestly, I don't remember the age either.
Yeah, I was like, he's 18. 18-year-old gunman buys a gun. Why the fuck did you give him a gun? That's my main thing.
Right.
That was my main concern.
So in America, in the US, you can't buy alcohol until you're 21. You can't smoke any cigarettes, no tobacco until you're 21. They've recently changed that, but you can have a gun, sure, at 18.
And I think, what is it? Shadow probably knows better than I. It's 18 to own a assault rifle, but 21.
18 for a rifle, 20 or 21 for a pistol, I think.
That's the most fucking stupidest thing I've ever heard. So
that is stupid.
Yeah, because I can you can get a rifle at 18, but I can get a Glock 19 at 21. That's what we're doing now. So I can get.
Isn't it because of you can hide a pistol or some stupid thing like that?
Yeah, but the pistol has less fucking ammo than an assault rifle.
Yeah,
a
pistol is shorter.
A pistol. And
it's not gonna have much in the barrel.
Here's the thing about a pistol. But here's the thing about a pistol. A pistol will not rip through you like fucking butter.
But I mean, by the time you've already brought out the gun, I mean, what's the point of being stealthy at that point?
No, but again, it's not about the point of being stealthy. It's about the point of one can kill you, one can wound you, depending on how the shooter knows. And pistols only have such a short ammo capacity. The most a pistol can have is 50 rounds, and I think I'm thinking COD rules.
Have a gun. Oh, you shouldn't await a gun like that. If you're in febrile frenzy, that's a tongue twister.
Nice,
about getting a gun in the U.S. at the age of 18. I mean, if you're just anxiously awaiting it just to have one and show it off, then you shouldn't have a gun. I think you should just only have it for protection.
So there's a guy at my job at Amazon. I'm gonna give him. His name is Lawrence. It's not his actual name. I'm not gonna give it off to him. He's a young kid. He's in his late 20s. He just turned 20. He thought about, I'm gonna go get a rifle. I thought, oh, what are you, a gun enthusiast? He said, no, I just want to go shoot at the range. And I thought, the range? You want to go shoot a gun at a range? He's like, yeah. That's the standard answer. I said, oh, so do you know about the gun you want? I'm like, he said, nah, I'm just going to go get an assault rifle. So I said, you don't even know what gun you're getting. He said, I'm just going to get the biggest one. And I'm thinking,
what?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what he said to me.
Give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
That's what he said to me. And I'm looking, and I'm just stunned. I'm flabbergasted. I am bamboozled. Because I'm looking like, so you're just going to get a fucking assault rifle, not a pistol. He's like, no, I'm going to get a pistol, too, for home defense, because I can get one. So what's the assault rifle for? Oh, just to carry around. And I said,
bro,
I'm a gun enthusiast. I know about certain models and makes. I know about, I have a fascination with the P90. With some German,
mindset.
Yeah, I have a mindset of, okay, I know what this is. So there's a story, another story going back to the original concept. My dad, when he first got the gun, was messing around with it. He didn't understand what the gun was. He wanted to get a gun because he had heard the crazy shit, like the shootings going on, people breaking into people's houses, killing people. He got a gun. The moment I looked up at him, I walked over to him, took the gun out of his hands. popped out the mag, which was loaded, by the way, and then took out the one in the chamber, and then handed him back the gun and put the mags in the box. And he was like, "How did you know?" I'm like, "You never play. No matter what, even if unless the gun with the slide is all the way back, if it's back like that, don't fucking treat it as if it's loaded." No, you need to treat a gun always as if it's loaded until you know the slide is back. And you know what I mean when I say slide. It's the part that basically looks out of place. It doesn't look like a thing. But the slide, when the slide is out, that means there's nothing in this gun. There's nothing to fear. But he's waving this around, and yeah, it was on safety, but still, you could move a trigger. Somebody could move something, and now we're in somebody's in the hospital, or better, or worse yet, dead. I scared the fuck out of him though, because I took that gun and unloaded it. He's like, okay. My dad gave me the school shooter look. I was like, don't give me that look. I'm not a school shooter, please. It was funny. It was really funny though. It was the funniest story ever. But yeah, I told Lawrence, I said, look, you don't need a gun if you're just going to use it to go shooting at a range. And I said to them, I said, okay, so how much do you think ammo is? He said, it's got to be like, what, $5 maybe?
No.
No. I said, no. What? No, ammo's expensive.
It is.
You don't know how expensive ammo is until you're fucking buying it. That's the crazy
Right,
part.
having used a gun once, it's really not $5. I wish, maybe not I wish, but a lot of people would probably wish it were $5. But you have to remember, these things are not cheap to make, these things are not cheap to ship out, and these are not cheap materials. They're not like plywood. It's not plastic.
Oh yeah, no. Some guns you can't even get in the U.S. without a premium.
Right. So, I don't know. I think people should be more literate in the terms of gun safety. I think if you have to have a gun, that's fine. I don't care. Really, I would just have one for protection. I don't see a purpose.
Yeah, all you need
beyond.
If you're a person that doesn't know about guns, you just need a small handgun.
Right. Exactly.
You don't need no fucking assault rifle. You need a small handgun. Because you obviously have no idea what the fuck you're doing. Don't be like, oh, hey, yeah, I watched these gun guys talk about these guns. And then you're like, yeah, but then you know nothing about the gun itself. Because you're going to be that idiot everybody looks at when they're getting shot. Because it brings me back again to another story of a girl who was playing around with her boyfriend's firearm and killed her best friend.
Oh, is this where, like, they held a phone book to, like, his stomach and they were like, oh, yeah, well, this phone book...
No. They were at the boyfriend's house. The girlfriend thought the gun wasn't loaded, and she shot her best friend in the head.
Brilliant. You know, it reminds me of a similar thing back in the 70s. The guitarist for the band Chicago, Terry Kath, he was playing with a gun at I think it was a poker tournament, and he was playfully just spinning it around, and everyone said, hey, don't mess with the gun, we don't know if it's loaded or not. He said, it's not loaded, watch me prove it. And he shot himself and he died. That's how he died. The dumbest death in music history.
I heard about that one. That one's really weird.
If I get a gun in like the far future, I'm gonna get like a revolver or something because like so I could see if it's loaded. So none of that dumb shit happens. Also, they look cool.
Well, no. See, the gun comes. My dad had loaded it, but the gun doesn't come with ammo. You just you load ammo into it. Yeah, no, a gun technically doesn't come with ammo.
I think I would just get a pistol, to be honest. I mean, I'm not even looking forward to that. It's just not really a big worry at my age. And I'm older than some people in the server, and those people are obsessed with them. They're mental over them.
Yeah.
I think I can wait, to be honest. I have bigger fish to fry.
Yeah, it's like I told my parents, I'm gonna get a gun when I move out. And they said, why? I said, because I'm going to move, I'm living somewhere alone. I want a handgun. And I said, aren't you afraid that someone's going to steal it? And they said, if someone stole it from my apartment, they got to break into the apartment.
Right.
And my mom brought up the fact that, oh, but you're a black kid. How you going to move the gun? I'm going to move the gun when I move out. I'm going to buy a gun when I get to the apartment, I'm buying a gun. And
I
when
mean, you keep it in your house, there's no danger.
There's no danger. But she's
There
like,
you
Your
go.
cat's gonna shoot you.
no,
Or whatever.
my cat is gonna shoot me.
Wait, do you have a cat?
No, I have two dogs. I had two dogs. One dog sadly passed away because of old age. And,
Oh, rest in peace.
yeah. Now I only have the one dog I hate. That's my sister's dog, who shits everywhere and pisses on everything. Shadow can tell you of this.
Fuck that dog.
Yeah, fuck.
I have one dog and two cats.
What breed is it?
It's a jug. It's a Jack Russell and a pug.
Oh,
Okay.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, I've brought him on camera like 2 times.
Jug Hunter.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I know. It's been a long time since I did that. It was when I was downstairs. I don't know if y'all remember when I was in that office area. Yeah.
Do y'all remember when I showed you my dog? When I was
No.
mukbanging that yogurt or whatever?
To be honest, I have everyone's camera off other than Morgan and others when they mukbang.
Why?
Wow.
The answer is it's nothing against the people who turn the camera on. But when Scar did it, God knows how many times a day, it did not disappear from my phone.
Bro, don't
So I
bring him
realized it
up.
was a stable video because whenever he did it, it would always appear on my phone, even when I turned it on. And I just flipped open the screen. I would just see his face in the corner of everything. I don't care if it was YouTube, but I was just simultaneously scrolling through that or going through Google Docs or Drive. I would just see him just smoking,
Bro,
right, on the side.
he was
And
so
it
annoying,
works with everyone
bro.
else. So I'm just thinking, oh, it's a little bit creepy. I'm not going to engage with it that much. It can. I can go without.
Can I speak about Scar real quick? I remember,
sure.
okay, the worst conversation I've ever witnessed in the server was one between Data and Scar. And it was just two druggies just talking about random bullshit. That shit, I think I probably lost an IQ point back then and gained some chromosomes or whatever. It was so boring, I couldn't take it.
There was some times when it got really boring because Data would just talk about drugs. I don't smoke anything. I don't intake anything. I don't like weed. I really don't. I haven't had weed since late 2020, around November. That was about it. I don't like marijuana. I really hate it. It just makes me unproductive. I like drinking beer. I'd rather get drunk.
Gross.
I like
Alcohol.
getting really stoned and cleaning my entire house.
I can't do marijuana. I don't care if you smoke weed. I just can't do it. And acid as well. I don't like any of those drugs just because they just make me feel worse at the end.
Acid pussy.
I was gonna be like, yeah. I will say this. I remember when Scar just does some stupid stuff on camera. He's actually tried to take a gun from a cop, and that made me fucking
Yeah,
shrivel
I
up.
remember that.
I was like, why are you doing that? He's like, oh, he's my friend. I'm like, I don't give a shit if he's God's fucking child, if he's Jesus H. Christ himself. Stop trying to take his fucking gun. That's
Right,
not okay.
and then I remember he panicked to me. I think the day after, where he said, "Hey, listen, Dud. So I tried taking this gun from a cop, and then it was something really ridiculous where the guy tried to press a jet. It was something stupid. I forget the story, but I thought, why would you do that in the beginning? I didn't
That's
listen
what
to the
I
rest of it
said.
because I thought
'Cause
you
I asked
shouldn't
him
do
that.
it to begin with.
I
That's mental.
I had asked him. Heck, I told Shadow about that. He said, "Why did he do that? Is he trying to get shot?" I'm like, I don't know.
Right.
I don't know
Probably.
because
There's
I
this
had
one
to
time
ask
when-
him. I was like, "Why did you do that?" Because what if he just shot you because he doesn't know what you're about to do? Because it wasn't even like, oh hey man, I want to fuck with my friends on Discord and I be part of this joke. It was no, because even the dude told him to stop
That's gonna
reaching
kill
for
me.
his gun. Like it was crazy.
Good
It
ground.
was the craziest thing.
It's what California does to a man.
Yeah.
I remember when I was playing Fortnite. Yeah, this was like a long time ago. Back with Ape and Barbie, we were having some fun, and then Scar pulled up and just ruined it.
Yeah, yeah.
I can't believe.
The thing is, yeah, I'm not gonna say it here in a public space. I mean,
Good round.
That was a good one.
you get the idea.
Yeah.
It just some things were very malapropos, for lack of a better word. In terms of the conversation, just not very appropriate, or badly timed, and not felicitous, and not really even productive. Sometimes even froward and contrary. I didn't like that.
I'm gonna have to stop because joints in my right hand are starting to bother me.
Are we still
Oh, man.
streaming, by the way?
Yeah, we're still streaming.
I don't know.
I was about to end it.
Oh,
It's been
okay.
it's been an hour. Anyway,
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was supposed to.
Well, thanks for
record some
playing with me,
stuff.
man. I appreciate it. Those were some fun rounds.
yeah.
No
And
problem.
again, thank you everybody for joining Googly Gamer. I hope you get better.
Yes.
I'm sorry about you being in the ER, buddy. One day I hope you do get better. And thank you guys for joining the late night crew. We always will be here. We'll be doing these podcasts Thursday from now on around probably 11 to 10. So just be there for that. But it will be
Perfect.
Thursday. So thank you guys for joining us. And y'all don't try to stay up too late. Good night.